Welcome to Speak English with Mishu. I'm Emily, and with me is Liam. Today, we're talking about something that almost everyone struggles with: why you can't focus. It's a tricky problem, right?
Hey everyone! Focus feels like this superpower everyone wants, but very few seem to have. Have you ever tried to work or study and suddenly your mind just goes somewhere else?
Yes, it's like your brain decides to take a vacation at the worst possible time. And honestly, it's frustrating. But don't worry, today we'll unpack why this happens.
Right. Focus isn't just about trying harder. There are real reasons behind it, from distractions all around us to how our brain works. So if you've ever wondered, why can't I just pay attention? This episode is for you.
Let's start with a quick story. Last week, I sat down to study for 2 hours straight. Guess how long I actually focused? About 20 minutes. After that, my mind was all over the place. Social media, daydreaming, even thinking about lunch.
Haha, I can relate. I tried to finish a project once, but every 5 minutes I checked my phone. It was like a constant battle between my brain and the world of distractions.
Exactly. And it's not just us. Studies show that the average person's attention span has dropped a lot in the last decade. So, this is a real challenge for many people, especially with technology everywhere.
That's a good point. Our phones, notifications, ads, they all fight for our attention. It's no wonder our focus breaks so easily.
Plus, it's not only external distractions. Sometimes it's our own mind working against us. Worries, stress, and even lack of sleep can make focusing feel impossible.
Absolutely. And when you feel like you can't focus, it can be really discouraging. But here's the good news: understanding why it happens is the first step to fixing it.
Yes, over the next parts, we'll look at common focus problems, what causes them inside our brain, and simple, practical ways to improve your attention. You don't have to be perfect. Small changes can make a big difference.
And don't forget, we'll also do a fun role play to practice focus in action, plus teach you new words to boost your English along the way.
So get comfy, maybe grab a notebook, and let's explore why focus slips away and how to get it back. Ready? Here we go. All right, Liam, let's talk about the real life problems people face when they can't focus. I mean, it's more than just feeling distracted sometimes, right?
Definitely. One big issue is multitasking. People think doing many things at once means being productive, but actually it splits your attention and makes everything harder.
Yes, like when you try to study while scrolling through your phone or watching TV. You might feel busy, but your brain isn't fully paying attention to any one thing.
Exactly. And then there's procrastination. Sometimes it's easier to do anything but the task at hand. Maybe checking social media, cleaning your room, or even daydreaming feels more appealing.
Procrastination is a sneaky focus killer. I've definitely fallen into that trap more times than I can count. And it often leads to stress because the work piles up.
Stress itself causes focus problems too. When you're worried or overwhelmed, your brain is stuck on those feelings instead of the task.
Right. And for many people, sleep problems make everything worse. Without enough rest, your brain just can't function well. It's like trying to use a phone with a low battery all day.
I like that analogy, low battery brain. And don't forget about distractions from our environment. Noisy places, interruptions from others, or even clutter on your desk.
Yes, a messy workspace can really mess with your mind. I read somewhere that a clean, organized area helps your brain focus better because it reduces visual noise.
That makes sense. And then there's the constant bombardment of information online. Emails, messages, notifications. It's like our brains are being pulled in 100 directions.
Absolutely. And honestly, sometimes people don't even realize how much these small distractions add up. It's like a slow leak that drains your focus bit by bit.
That's a great way to put it, a slow leak. And over time, it can make it really hard to get anything important done.
So, knowing these common problems is the first step. We all deal with them, but recognizing what's happening helps us start to change it.
Exactly. And in the next parts, we'll dive deeper into what causes these problems inside our brains and habits, so you can understand how to fight back.
And don't worry, we'll keep it practical and simple. Because focusing is a skill you can build, not something you're just born with.
That's right. So stay with us as we explore this journey to better focus. It's going to be worth it.
So, Liam, now that we've talked about common problems, let's dig a little deeper. What's really happening inside our minds when we can't focus?
Great question, Emily. One big factor is how our brain is wired to handle attention. Our brains are naturally designed to notice new and exciting things like notifications or interesting sounds.
Right. That's why it's so easy to get pulled away by something new, even if it's not important. Our brain loves a little excitement and surprises.
Exactly. But there's more. Our brain also works on something called attention fatigue. When you try to focus for a long time without breaks, your brain gets tired and just stops working well.
That makes so much sense. It's like when you're exercising, you can't run forever without resting. The brain needs breaks too.
Yes, and on top of that, emotions play a huge role. When you're stressed, anxious, or upset, your brain shifts into survival mode. It's more focused on keeping you safe than on concentrating on a task.
Stress really hijacks focus, doesn't it? Even if the stress isn't about the task itself, your brain feels the pressure and can't give full attention.
Absolutely. And there's also something called decision fatigue. When you make a lot of decisions throughout the day, your brain gets tired and finds it harder to focus on anything new.
Wow, that's interesting. So just the act of choosing between options can wear us out.
Exactly. That's why people often feel foggy or distracted in the afternoon after making decisions all morning.
I've definitely felt that. And what about habits? Can they affect focus too?
For sure. If you're used to checking your phone or switching tasks frequently, your brain gets trained to jump around instead of focusing deeply.
So bad habits can actually rewire the brain to be less focused?
Yes, but the good news is habits can change with practice. We just need to understand what's going on first.
That's encouraging. Understanding the why helps us be patient with ourselves and take small steps.
Exactly. So, to sum up, the causes of poor focus are a mix of brain wiring, emotional states, decision overload, and habits.
Right. And knowing this helps us be smarter about how we work and rest so we don't burn out.
That's a powerful insight. And coming up, we'll share some simple, practical solutions to help you improve your focus day by day.
Yes, so stay tuned for part 4, where we'll introduce our first easy and effective tip. All right, Liam, now that we understand why focus slips away, let's talk solutions. What's the first simple tip we can give our listeners to start improving focus?
Great question, Emily. The first solution I always recommend is to create a distraction-free environment. It sounds basic, but it makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. When your space is clear of distractions, your brain can concentrate better. So that means turning off unnecessary notifications, putting your phone away, and clearing your desk.
Yes, exactly. Even small distractions can pull your attention away without you realizing it. For example, the sound of your phone buzzing can cause your brain to shift focus instantly.
I've noticed that too. Sometimes just one notification is enough to break my concentration for minutes.
Right. So one practical way to apply this is to set specific focus time blocks. During these times, turn off your phone or put it on airplane mode if you don't need it.
I like that idea. And maybe also use noise-canceling headphones or play soft instrumental music if you're in a noisy place.
Exactly. Creating your ideal focus environment is about minimizing anything that can pull your brain away.
And it's not just the physical space. Sometimes your digital space needs a cleanup too. Closing extra browser tabs or apps you don't need can help.
Yes, I call this digital decluttering. It feels good to have only what you need open, and it keeps your mind less overwhelmed.
Also, setting clear goals for your focus time helps, like deciding, I will work on this one task for the next 25 minutes. That keeps you on track and less tempted to wander.
That's a great point, Emily. Setting a clear intention before starting makes a big difference.
So, to recap this first tip, create a distraction-free environment by clearing your space, silencing notifications, decluttering your digital devices, and setting clear focus periods.
Exactly. Small changes that help your brain stay in focus mode instead of distraction mode.
All right, listeners, give this a try and notice how your focus changes. And remember, it takes practice, so be patient with yourself.
Definitely. And coming up next, we'll share another useful tip to help you stay focused even when things get busy.
Okay, Liam, after creating a distraction-free space, what's the next step to help our listeners improve their focus?
The second tip I love to share is using the Pomodoro technique. It's a simple time management method that breaks your work into focused intervals, usually 25 minutes, followed by short breaks.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that. It's like training your brain to focus for a short time, then letting it rest before starting again.
Exactly. Instead of trying to focus for hours at once, you work in bursts, which helps prevent attention fatigue.
And it feels less overwhelming because you know you only have to focus for a set amount of time.
Right. Plus, the breaks are important. They give your brain a chance to recharge, so when you start the next session, you're ready to focus again.
I like that balance of work and rest. It's like intervals for your brain, similar to interval training for athletes.
Yes, and the Pomodoro technique is easy to customize. Some people prefer 50 minutes work, 10 minutes break. The key is finding what fits your rhythm.
For sure. And there are many apps and timers online that can help track Pomodoro sessions so you don't have to watch the clock.
That's a huge help. Also, tracking your sessions can boost motivation because you see how much you've accomplished.
Definitely. Plus, knowing you only have to focus for a short burst makes starting work less scary.
Good point. Starting is often the hardest part. Pomodoro breaks the task into manageable pieces.
And during breaks, it's important to step away from your work area, stretch, walk around, or drink some water.
Absolutely. Moving your body or changing your environment helps refresh your brain.
So, to sum up, the Pomodoro technique is a fantastic way to build focus gradually with timed work sessions and breaks.
Yes, it trains your brain, reduces fatigue, and keeps your motivation high.
Listeners, give this a try if you haven't already. You might be surprised how much more you get done.
And next, we'll share another tip to keep you focused even when distractions try to sneak back in.
All right, Liam. So far, we've talked about clearing distractions and using the Pomodoro technique. What's our third focus booster?
The third tip I want to share is about prioritizing your tasks with something called the MIT, Most Important Task.
Oh, I like that. So instead of juggling everything at once, you focus on one big task first?
Exactly, Emily. When you identify your MIT, you give your brain a clear target to focus on. It reduces the overwhelm of having too many things to do.
That makes sense. Sometimes when my to-do list is huge, I just don't know where to start. Focusing on the most important thing helps me get going.
Right, and it's not just about working hard, but working smart. Prioritizing helps you spend your energy on what really matters.
And when you finish your MIT, it gives a real sense of accomplishment. That feeling can motivate you to keep going.
Definitely. And here's a tip. Write down your MIT at the start of your day or the night before. That way, you wake up knowing exactly what to focus on.
Oh, that's a great habit. I sometimes forget what's most important and get distracted by smaller tasks.
It happens to all of us. But making a habit of choosing your MIT helps train your brain to focus better.
Plus, when your brain knows what to expect, it can prepare itself to focus more easily.
Yes, and sometimes if you feel stuck, just remind yourself, What's the one thing that will make the biggest difference if I finish it?
That's a powerful question. It helps cut through the noise and focus on real progress.
So, to sum up, prioritizing your most important task first is a simple but powerful way to boost your focus and productivity.
Listeners, try this out tomorrow morning. Pick your MIT and make it your top priority.
You'll be surprised how much clearer and focused your day feels.
And coming up next, we'll share one more major tip to help you focus better every day. All right, Liam, now for our final big tip to help improve focus. What do you have for us?
Emily, this one's very important. It's about taking care of your body through good sleep, nutrition, and exercise.
Ah, yes. Sometimes we forget that our brain is part of the body, and if the body isn't healthy, focus can suffer.
Exactly. Sleep is a huge factor. When you don't get enough rest, your brain's ability to concentrate drops dramatically.
I know that feeling well. When I'm tired, everything feels harder and my mind just wanders.
Right. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, but also the quality. Deep, restful sleep helps your brain recharge and improve memory and focus.
What about nutrition? How does what we eat affect focus?
Great question. Eating balanced meals with proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbs provides steady energy for the brain. Avoiding too much sugar or caffeine can prevent crashes.
I've noticed that. After eating heavy or sugary food, I sometimes feel sluggish and distracted.
Exactly. That's why fueling your brain with the right nutrients is key for steady focus.
And exercise, how does that help?
Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which helps improve alertness and concentration. Even a short walk can boost focus.
So, regular physical activity isn't just good for the body, but also for the mind.
Yes, and all these together, good sleep, balanced nutrition, and exercise build a strong foundation for your brain to focus well.
I love how this reminds us that focus isn't just about willpower, but taking care of ourselves holistically.
Absolutely. It's about treating your brain kindly and giving it what it needs.
So, listeners, if you want to improve focus, start by looking after your body too.
Yes, and when you do this consistently, you'll notice your attention, energy, and mood improving.
All right, that wraps up our 4 big tips for boosting focus.
Next up, we'll talk about the real-life obstacles that can get in your way and how to handle them.
Okay, Liam, we've shared some solid tips so far, but let's be honest, improving focus isn't always easy. What kind of obstacles do people usually face?
You're right, Emily. One big obstacle is self-doubt. People often think, I'm just not good at focusing, and that mindset can block their progress before they even start.
Yes, that negative self-talk can be really damaging. It creates a cycle where the more you doubt yourself, the harder it is to focus.
Exactly. So one important step is to recognize when those thoughts happen and gently remind yourself they're not true.
That's such a key point, being kind to yourself. Instead of saying, I can't focus, try saying, I'm learning to focus better every day.
Perfect example, Emily. Another obstacle is distractions from others, family, friends, or coworkers who might not understand your focus time.
I've experienced that. Sometimes people expect you to drop everything for them, and it's hard to say no.
Setting boundaries is crucial. Politely explaining your need for focus time and asking for their support can make a big difference.
Right, it's about communicating clearly so people respect your time.
Also, sometimes technology itself is an obstacle. Social media, emails, and messages can pull you away without you realizing.
Oh yes, that's a constant battle. I find myself scrolling without thinking.
Same here. That's why tools like app blockers or scheduled tick breaks can help.
Great tips. Finally, fatigue and stress are huge obstacles to focus.
Absolutely. When you're tired or stressed, your brain's ability to concentrate drops a lot.
That's why all our previous tips, good sleep, breaks, nutrition, work together to overcome these obstacles.
Exactly. And remember, facing obstacles is normal. The important thing is not to give up, but to keep trying and adjusting.
Listeners, if you stumble, be patient with yourself. Every small step counts.
And don't hesitate to ask for support, whether from friends, family, or even us here on the podcast.
All right, Liam. Now let's show our listeners a quick role play to practice what we've been talking about. Ready?
Ready, let's do this.
Imagine I'm feeling really distracted while trying to study. Liam, you're going to help me focus.
Okay, Emily. First, let's try to identify what's distracting you.
I keep checking my phone and getting notifications. It's hard to ignore them.
That's a common problem. So, how about turning off your phone or putting it in another room while you work?
Good idea. That will definitely help. What else?
Let's try the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. I can set a timer for you.
Sounds great. I feel less overwhelmed knowing I only have to focus for a short time.
Exactly. And during your break, you can stretch or grab a drink to refresh.
I like that. Also, what should I focus on first?
Let's pick your most important task for today. What's the one thing that will help you most?
I think reviewing my vocabulary list for tomorrow's test is the most important.
Perfect. Let's start there and check off that task.
Thanks, Liam. I already feel more ready to focus.
You're welcome. Remember, it's all about small steps and good habits.
All right, listeners, now it's time to learn some new words and phrases we used in today's episode about focus.
Here we go. Our first word is distraction. It means something that takes your attention away from what you want to focus on.
Example sentence. My phone notifications are a big distraction when I study.
Next is overwhelm. This means feeling like there's too much to handle or too many things happening at once.
For example, I feel overwhelmed when my to-do list is very long.
Our third phrase is most important task, or MIT for short. It means the one task you should focus on first because it matters the most.
Example, my MIT today is to finish my English homework before anything else.
Fourth word is prioritize. It means to decide what is most important and do that first.
For example, I need to prioritize my study time over watching TV.
Fifth word is self-doubt. This means feeling unsure about yourself or your abilities.
Like, I had self-doubt before my exam, but I studied hard and did well.
Last one for today is breakthrough. It means a big progress or success after working hard.
Example, after practicing every day, I had a breakthrough in my English speaking.
Great job, everyone! Try using these words in your daily conversations.
You've been doing amazing by sticking with us through this episode. Remember, focus is a skill, not something you're just born with.
Exactly, Emily. Every small step you take today is building stronger focus for tomorrow.
It's okay if you struggle sometimes. That's part of the journey. What matters is that you keep trying and don't give up.
You have the power to improve your focus, your habits, and your life. Believe in yourself because we believe in you.
Picture yourself completing tasks easily, feeling calm and confident.
And remember, progress might be slow, but it's always moving forward.
We're cheering for you every step of the way. You've got this.